Imagine standing in the middle of the scorching Sahara Desert. The sun blazes overhead, the air is dry, and the sand stretches endlessly in every direction. You're miles from the nearest drop of water. But what if someone told you that beneath your feet once flowed a vast, ancient ocean? An ocean so large it stretched across continents and helped shape the very world we live in today. This forgotten body of water is called the Tethys Sea, and while many people have never heard of it, its legacy lives on in surprising and powerful ways. The story of the Tethys Sea begins over 250 million years ago, in a time when the Earth looked nothing like it does today. Instead of separate continents like we know now, Asia, Europe, Africa, and so on, the land was grouped into a single, massive supercontinent called Pangaea. It was surrounded by a global ocean, but over time, the giant landmass began to split apart. This process, known as plate tectonics, led to the creation of two massive continents, Laurasia in the north and Gondwana in the south. And between them, a new ocean began to form, the Tethys Sea. The Tethys wasn't just any ocean. It stretched thousands of miles from what is now Spain in the west, through the Mediterranean region, across the Middle East, and into Asia. It became a vital marine corridor for life, a cradle of evolution, and a force that shaped the land and climate around it. In its prime, the Tethys Sea was filled with all kinds of fascinating life. Giant marine reptiles like the ichthyosaur swam through its waters, alongside huge predatory fish and some of the earliest ancestors of whales. Coral reefs, even larger than today's Great Barrier Reef, thrived beneath its surface. We know about this rich marine life because of the fossils left behind. Scientists have found marine fossils in places like India, Egypt, and even high up in the Himalayas, which today stand thousands of feet above sea level. These discoveries tell us just how teeming with life the Tethys Sea once was. The fossilized remains of ancient reefs now form part of the towering peaks of mountain ranges like the Himalayas and the Alps, evidence of how Earth has changed over millions of years. But how does an ocean so vast disappear? It's hard to imagine something so massive just vanishing without a trace. Oceans span thousands of miles, filled with life, currents, and ecosystems that stretch across entire continents. Yet, that's exactly what happened to the Tethys Sea. As time passed and the Earth's tectonic plates continued their slow but powerful dance, the massive ocean began to shrink. The continents, which were once separated by this great sea, began drifting toward one another, slowly compressing the space between them. This gradual movement caused immense geological pressure. Over millions of years, the once expansive Tethys Sea began to narrow. The ocean floor started to rise due to the force of the colliding land masses. As the water had nowhere to go, it slowly receded. Eventually, the seabed, once teeming with marine life, turned into dry land. But it didn't stop there. With more time and more tectonic movement, parts of the former ocean floor were pushed even higher, forming entire mountain ranges. The very idea is mind-blowing. Towering peaks like the Himalayas, the Alps, and the Zagros Mountains were once submerged beneath an ancient sea. What we now climb, ski on, or admire in photographs were once coral reefs, deep trenches, and underwater valleys. Even though the Tethys Sea as it once existed is mostly gone, it hasn't vanished completely. Small pieces of it still remain scattered across the map. The Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, and the Caspian Sea are not just ordinary bodies of water. They are the last surviving fragments of this forgotten ocean. When we look at them today, it's easy to see them as separate seas. But in truth, they are connected by a common past, a reminder of a time when a massive ocean flowed between continents. These waters hold the final echoes of the Tethys, carrying within them the geological and biological legacy of a sea that helped shape our planet's surface. But the Tethys Sea did more than just sculpt the Earth's landscape. Its influence stretched far beyond the rise of mountains and the discovery of fossils. It played a critical role in the development of human civilization. When the sea dried up and disappeared, it didn't just leave behind empty space. It left behind rich, fertile land, soil packed with nutrients from ancient marine sediments. These areas, once covered in water, became some of the most productive agricultural lands in history. Humans eventually settled there, drawn by the abundance of resources and the opportunity to grow crops and raise livestock. As a result, some of the earliest human civilizations were born in the areas once covered by the Tethys Sea. The Mesopotamian civilization, located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and the Indus Valley civilization, situated along the banks of the Indus River, both emerged on land once submerged beneath this ancient sea. These civilizations laid the foundation for human history as we know it, introducing writing, trade, agriculture, and urban life. Without the fertile lands left behind by the Tethys, these great societies might never have flourished the way they did. The Tethys Sea also contributed to the creation of some of the world's most valuable natural resources. One of the most significant is oil. The vast petroleum reserves that power modern economies, especially in the Middle East, can be traced back to the ancient life forms that once lived in the Tethys Sea. As these tiny marine organisms died, they sank to the ocean floor. Over millions of years, layers of sediment covered them. The combination of heat, pressure, and time eventually transformed their remains into oil. Today, we rely heavily on this resource, using it to fuel our vehicles, generate electricity, and manufacture countless products. Without the Tethys Sea, this natural wealth might never have existed. Another valuable resource born from the Tethys Sea is salt. As parts of the sea dried up, especially in regions like present-day Pakistan and Iran, they left behind thick salt beds. These deposits are still mined today and are among the largest in the world. They are not only economically important, but also serve as a powerful reminder of how ancient oceans continue to impact our lives in unexpected ways. Perhaps one of the most surprising pieces of evidence of the Tethys Sea's existence comes from the top of the world, Mount Everest. In the early days of exploration, climbers made a shocking discovery: fossils of sea creatures near the summit, nearly 29,000 feet above sea level. The idea that marine life once lived at the highest point on Earth seems almost impossible. Yet it's true. These fossils provide undeniable proof that what is now the roof of the world was once part of the ocean floor. It's a striking example of just how much the Earth's surface has shifted and changed over time. Beyond its geological and biological legacy, the Tethys Sea also left its mark on human movement and trade. Consider the Silk Road, the legendary trade route that connected the East and West. Its path wasn't random. It was guided by valleys, plains, and mountain passes, all shaped by the ancient rise and fall of the Tethys Sea. Merchants, travelers, and explorers unknowingly followed a path carved by a vanished ocean. Its invisible presence influenced the direction of commerce and cultural exchange for centuries. The Tethys Sea, once a vast ocean, is a powerful reminder of Earth's constant transformation. The story of the Tethys shows how oceans can disappear and continents can shift, highlighting the deep interconnectedness of Earth systems. As we walk on land once underwater, we're reminded that nature is ever-changing and that the Earth we know today may look very different in the future. If you enjoyed uncovering the story of this forgotten ocean and how it shaped our world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow curious minds. Let's think, discover, and grow together, because the more we explore, the more we understand the incredible planet we call home.